Right, we are ready for part 4. Here is our only and chief programmer of the software side of the project, Pierre Couprie.
Thank you, Simon. Just before the demonstration, a few words about what is EAnalysis and about the roadmap also. EAnalysis is a software for electroacoustic music analysis. It works and it will work only on Macintosh 10.6 and later. Actually, the version is EAnalysis is in private version, private beta. Then there are several bugs. The software is not complete, of course. If you want to try to test it in private beta, you can fill out a form onto this website, and I will send you the link to download it. The public beta will be available in March, in 1 month. And the first release version will be available in September. Of course, the final version will be available in September 2000, in 1 year. Now, what are the goals, my goals for this software, and what are my ideas for this software? The first idea is to create a software for analyzing. It's not to create a software for drawing in spectrum or on the spectrum, but also for analyzing. The second idea is to create a software for different types of users, for specialists, teachers, students, children, of course, and other students, other users. The third idea is to use professional drawing tools, not only professional like in Illustrator, but also professional tools for analysts, for musicians, for analysis. And the last idea is to experiment new types of representation. For example, in actual graph, you have only one type of representation, the time and the frequency only, and you can draw on this representation. In the final version of EAnalysis, you will have different types of view, and of course you have the time frequency, but also a view to represent, for example, the space movement of the sound, or another view to represent, for example, paradigmatic table, different types of view. Now the development into the roadmap. The first part of the software, the very basic part, the audio player and the very basic drawing tool are finished. The second part, the drawing tools are almost finished. Special views are starting, the development of special views are starting. I will not demonstrate you the different views because it's not finished and it's not work very good actually. And the input-output part, import, export, and input into output to other software is not starting actually. Okay, now the demonstration. Just here. I will present to you here only the new features, but I will demonstrate you also the different possibilities and the different other possibilities of the software. There is a new feature in the creation of the new project. Now in analysis, when you create a new project, for example, I create a project on Lee piece. Here, you can select different template for the main view. You have a very simple template, white view. It's very useful if you want to work by drawing. I will demonstrate you after the drawing mode. Two very simple view with waveform and sonogram, and three other templates with waveform and sonogram, with two sonograms or with stereo sonogram. Then you can select different templates. Of course, after the creation of the project, you select media. It can be audio or video file. And the software compute the sonogram and the waveform. In final version, you can select different file, and you can work in the same project on different file, audio or video file. It will be possible. It can take several seconds. And here is the main interface. Another new feature in this version, when you change the proportion between the view, the software saves this proportion, and then when you reopen your project, you have the same proportion. Okay. Change that first one thing. Now, other new features. When you want to add events, in this software you work with events. You add events. You have two types of events: graphic events and analytical events. In fact, it's the same thing, but analytical events have analytical parameters inside. When you select the toolbar Add Events here, you have in the right you have the event panel. I change a lot of things into this panel. It's more useful now. You have the different categories here, and below you have the different events. You can display, of course, all events. All events if you want. When you add events to the view, you select events and you drag the events into the view. Of course, you can add events on the different view. It's possible here as you want. In graphic events, you have a new event. It's the structure event. Here, this structure event is to mark the different part of your work, if possible. For example, I create a new view here, just like that, with a ruler. And here, I can add the different part of this piece. Just here. For example, here you can analyze this part in three parts. Sorry, the first part is here, and then I create structure here. With this new type of events, graphic events, you have in the property, the graphic properties of events here, a new tab which called Advanced, and with this tab you can change the property of these events. It's a very specific property for the structure events. You can add, for example, a different line on your events if you want. Because I can show something like that. You can have for each line different types of line. It's possible to have a mark like that. You can add endpoints. For example, narrow here and across if you want. There are lots of possibilities, 2 lines, etc. Or no lines if you want. You also can have a system with angle for the end of the line or the beginning. It's possible. And of course, you have all the graphic possibilities to change the color, the size of the line, etc. For example, here I have the first part, and the first part is a sort of introduction. Then I add the text. Things like that. And then I can create the mark of the structure into this piece. For example, here I have the second part is here, okay. And here it's a sort of bridge. And then after you can add the part 1, for example. And then you can create the structure of this piece. Just and you can add a different structure. It's the new graphic events which call structure here. You have also different presets to create the different types of structure mark. Here is the new interface for graphic events. There are also I added also features to help the user in drawing the different events. I had a possibility to create a horizontal guide here, and then you can align your event to this horizontal guide. Of course, you can add different horizontal guide on the same view. It's possible, and you can add different horizontal guide on different views. If you want to delete horizontal guide, just drag it out to the view, like in Apple software. It's very useful to align the different your different graphic. You can also copy the still here. You have a new possibility to copy the still of this graphic and to pass the still to other graphics, or to pass the still to all your new, all your next events you have, all your next graphics. It's possible. In next version, I will add a lot of new graphics possibilities like that to help the user in manipulation of different graphics. Here is the add event. Okay. You have also a new interface for the analytic events. When you add analytic events, you have the choice between graphic events. It's very simple graphic, and analytic events. I changed also this interface. Now there are 4 parts. The first part is here. You have the different categories of analytic events. I will add, of course, I will add other categories like spectrum morphology, etc. You have the different subsections for each analytic events. Below, you can view the different events here. And of course, you can change that. You can click and drag this event, if you want, on the different part here. You have also a search engine here to select, if you know the name of the analytic event. For example, I want to add analytic event which called introduction in Stéphane Roy system, and then I can add it directly to the sonogram here or to the different views. Of course, you have also the same thing than I demonstrated in the last symposium. For example, for the sound object, you have also another interface. Here, it's detailed, and you can add directly the sound object with the table by Pierre Couprie. It's more useful than the list of the different objects. Here is the analytic events. You also can add on each event analytic parameters. For example, here I had a very simple graphics, and it's just text. Here. It's an event, and I can now add analytic parameters. It's a new toolbar written here, and you have here different possibilities to add different analytic parameters. In next version, I will add new other parameters, and in final version, the user can add their own parameters. For example, I can add the sound object here on set phase, and to add this parameter to the events, it's very simple. You drag and drop to the events, and now in the property of this event, when you click on this event, you have on analytic panel. Ooh, it doesn't work. Okay, oh yes, it's okay. You have on analytic panel the analytic parameters, and you can select the value of your analytic parameter. There are different types of parameters. You can add panoramic position, for example. You can add keywords if you want, any types of keywords, and then you can change a different value. For example, here. After, it's very interesting because you can change the graphic with this type of parameter. I will demonstrate you just after. Another new feature is the search engine. I had the search engine. It's just here on the top right. I just change the project and select this project, for example. And the search engine works with the text into the event, work with the analytic parameter. If you add an analytic event, it works also with the title of analytic event. It works with all text elements into the event. For example, here I add a very simple event with the text, and then after I can search for the different result for this text. Then when you search into the software, you have a new line here with, it's a synoptic line in the whole duration of the piece, and you have a very small line in red to figure out the result. It's not very useful when you have a very long piece. Then you have also a small button here to display the result as a list. And of course, when you click on the result, the playhead is go to the right position, and then you can play the different parts. For example, I can change search also for this text, and here I have the different text.
Bonjour Elisabeth. Bonjour, je prends le relais. Bonjour Jean-Louis Le Guerre.
Etc. And you have the different results for your for the search engine. Now another feature, the rules of view. One of the ideas of this software is to separate the graphic to your analysis. And if you separate the graphic to your analysis, it's very useful to change the graphic from your analysis. For example, here in this very small analysis, you can add parameter, and I can add space parameter, for example, for this event. Oh. Yes. And this event is in the center. And then I can add analytic parameter in the different events, like that. Here you have the different position. Here, when I select the different events, I have the different panoramic position. And now, into this view, I can decide to represent the panoramic position in vertical axis. Then I create a rule for this view, and the rule for this view is when you select the view, here you have the graphic properties of your view, here, color, waveform, etc., what you want. And you have also a new tab here for event rules. And then I can add a new rules, and I associate the panoramic position to the vertical position. And now I have the vertical position to represent the panoramic position. If I want to return to the initial possibility, I just hide this possibility. I can also, if I want, add a rule to to assign value, for example, here, to like that, and to decide to have the panoramic position for the height of your event. And then the height of your event represents the panoramic position. It's possible. And then you can select what analytic properties, or you can assign a specific value to the different graphic possibility, to the different graphic properties of your event. And it's for all the graphic events of this view. It's possible. And then this system is very powerful to change your representation in one click. And you can have different possibilities to represent the different elements. Of course, in the next versions, when you have different views, I will add the same thing on different views. And then on different views, you can assign the different parameters to the different graphic properties. It's the rules of the view. Change the project. It's the same music. Now I demonstrate you the possibility to have different modes. In this version, you have different modes for different types of user. The first mode is the very common mode that I demonstrate you before. I had very simple graphic here on the view. The second mode is here. It's here. You can add text if you prefer to work to annotate your listening, for example, or your analysis with text, with a very simple text, you can add text. It's very easy. You just click on play the music, and here into this part you add your text. Just to demonstrate you, sorry. Oh. Here, I add just one text here. Etc. You can add your text. And when you add your text, the software records also the time position, and then after you can reposition your playhead and listen the specific part. And if you want, after you can transform this text to graphic event. Simply select the graphic event and add as an event here, and you have event. And then after you return to the normal mode, and you can change graphic properties of your events, etc. If you want to work with the text. There is also another possibilities. It's the drawing mode here, and with the drawing mode, you draw. For example, you can work with children if you want. If you have an interactive whiteboard, you can play the music and children draw what they hear. Or you can draw, if you prefer to draw on your sonogram, it's possible. For example, just maybe sonogram and drawing mode. When you select drawing mode here, you have very simple possibilities. For the moment, there is only one possibility, is to draw a line, but after you can draw different type of brush, etc. You can, of course, select color if you want, different type of color, and after you just click and draw directly to the sonogram here. Or you can, if you want, you can also draw without time, without a time position in the horizontal axis. It's possible. After all, this drawing is a very graphic event, and you can change the different properties of this drawing. It's possible. Here is the three modes to work: normal, text, and drawing. In next versions, you will have also another mode. It will be a playing mode, and in playing mode, each event can be interactive, and you can associate action on every event. For example, to read another part of this piece, to open a file. If you want to add a video for this part of the sonogram, you add a video, and when you click on this event here, it's open the video. It's possible. Or to open another project or any type of file. It will be the playing mode, but actually it's not work very good. Here is the different mode. Okay, now next steps. For the public version, I will add export and import. Of course, export and import. Export to image, JPEG, PDF, and export to video as a QuickTime movie, and also export the project without the sound. If you want to distribute your project but without the sound because you have no you haven't the right for this sound, you can distribute with the next version, with the beta public version, and then the user open your project and the software asks for an audio file or the video file of the analyzer. I will add also other view, space view to represent the motion of the different sound, or to represent, for example, sound installation and the different sound, the different position of the loudspeaker, or to represent a sound work if you want. You can import a map of the Leicester if you want, and you can add the different position of your sound work. It's possible. I will add also the score view to work on mixed music. It will be very important. Of course, I finalized the format of the project because here in this private beta version, the format is not very stable. For the public beta version, the format will be stable, and then you can work on important projects. And for next version, after beta version, I will create a link to other software. For example, you will be able to import marker from Sonic Visualizer or from AudioSculpt. And my idea is to connect to Max also, maybe OSC, I don't know why, to connect to create, for example, to use spectral analysis patch in Max if you want. Another element is, of course, an interface to allow the user to edit their own analytic element and to create their own analytic element. For the moment, there are only 3 types of analytic element: function, sound object, and temporal semantic units. And the user will be able also to create their own analytic parameters, and then you can create your grid to analyze the different sounds. It will be the different part, and the final step is to create an expert system to help the user to decide how analyze the work, what type of sound, what type of analytic element the user can use to analyze the different sounds. Okay, it's okay for the new features of EAnalysis.
We'll overrun 5 o'clock, but only by 15 minutes. So we have time for questions from Pierre, then I'm going to open the floor to the whole equipment.
Pierre, 2 quick questions. The spatial view, when you show the panorama of my piece, if you took the 8-channel version, is there a way of doing that? Second question, which is related, once you have for example, the panorama values or positions, will there be a way for it to actually look at those positions in time and analyze them, or do we have to do it by eye? Will it be able to calculate how things are moving in space?
I don't understand. Sorry.
Si tu as mis tous les sons dans les positions panoramiques en 8 pistes, est-ce que c'est possible de calculer comment les mouvements sonores dans le temps? C'est pour nous de regarder des images, des positions sonores et de faire l'analyse du mouvement du son nous-mêmes.
Oh, yes. Yes, just here is, you can, for example, decide, it's just the first experimentation of this type of view. You can decide how many speakers you want, and then for each element you have a point here, and you can create motion between the different loudspeaker and the size. If you have, for example, a sound on the different, on all loudspeaker, you can change the size and view the different motion of the different sound.
But that's the viewing. The second part of the question is, can it then calculate how the movement takes place from these values? Or do we do it analytically?
Calculate from what?
That once you have the values of the position of sound in there,
Calculate
for analysis.
Create an automatic
Something like
automatic computation of the move.
the
Oh
movement.
no.
It's a good dream. Nice try.
It's a good dream, yes. It's a dream.
Very close to Lee's question, I mean, because when the sonogram doesn't offer any info about the stage, so if you want to do a diffusion score, are you thinking of importing any particular symbol that will help us to create a diffusion score?
Yes, it's possible to
That would
have.
be-
It's possible to have as a graphic event. You can add image, simple image, and if you have the graphic as image, it's possible to add any type of image here. Just select that, add click here and select an image, and the software add image. It's
And
possible.
one more question, sorry, quickly. You mentioned the map. I find it very interesting that. So,
Yes.
is it possible, for example, to have the map of Leicester and say have recordings of the Leicester clock tower at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and then listen to having the map and then hover the mouse over the clock tower and say I want to listen to the clock tower in 9 o'clock or the recording in 10 o'clock.
Yes, maybe it will be. Yes, I think it will be
You know,
possible.
what I mean, having the map of the city,
Yes.
so you can navigate
Yes.
and listen to the sound.
Yes, if you record, for example, 1 hour or 2 hours to Sunwalk and to Leicester, you import the sound, and after you can add the map of Leicester and select where you are on the map, and then you view the different position and click to hear the sound into this position.
I think what you've done, Panos, is that you've made an analytical tool into a compositional one, which
Oh,
is exactly
no.
what you were saying earlier on. Analysis is at the service of creativity in your philosophy. More questions? Yeah.
I actually
Michael.
had a similar point to what you just said, because it looks like clearly fascinating tools for describing the sonogram that exists in the complete work. But I was thinking, what would a composer who maybe has a half-finished piece, the tools are there to conceptualize maybe the second half before it's being written, and how far, particularly the kind of graphic analytical tools about cause and effect type tools, that those icons you had. You could imagine a composer mapping those out in the abstract, and then wondering how will I make my sounds to comply with my abstract plan. And it's just a thought that how powerful
Yes,
would be
yes.
for the composer.
Yes,
You should charge for that.
it's for the next project.
But maybe more seriously, how far would it be possible to drop? This only deals with single sound files in 14. Would it be possible to drop several sound files into
Yes,
sequence?
but this software will become also a composer software, and then it's a big.
My question is a general one and will come up at our next team meeting, because you let slip, of course, the user can add their own materials increasingly here. How easy will that become? A year's time, I can open up and say the kind of shape I want, or the kind of analytic event I want is X. Somebody's just written an article, I want to introduce this set of terms. How easy will it become to integrate a new set of vocabularies?
Oh, it will be very easy. Actually, analytic events and analytic parameters are sort of extensions into the software, and it's in XML and HTML format.
So So you will have a meta tool, which is a
Yes.
tutorial for the
Yes.
user
Yes.
to create their own menus.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Yes. For the moment, the user can create their own extension if you know the XML language. It's possible, but it's a little complex. But in final version, you will have a graphic interface to create your own vocabulary or your own analytic elements.
So just following on from what Sally said, if someone does create a new analytical event based on someone else's research, is there a way of actually adding that to a database for other people to use as well?
Maybe. I need to investigate.
Well, that I don't mind saying in public, that is for our team discussion, the degree to which EAnalysis can reside on Orama and be shared in the extensions thereof. Yeah.
I think it's a good idea to share the different extension in the Orama website. Yes.
Excellent. We will go to a general discussion. Thank you very much, Pierre.
Thank you.